All right, I'm at 1545 Holman Street in Covington, Kentucky. We're doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. We're looking for any structural issues mainly, but anything that would be, make note of anything that would be concerning to the buyer. Our access here is a little strange. You can kind of see it in front of me. We have an old stack line. I have already checked it, make sure it is connected to the line still. It's not dead. There's some debris in it, just because it's been sitting empty, and I will recommend that be plugged. Probably a 3.5 inch. It looks like a 3.5 inch expansion plug should go in there, so you don't get any sewer gases back into the house. This would probably be a good idea to also plug this. This should have a trap. Looks like it's the old line for the, you can see the water down in there. This looks like the old stationary tub line, so it should be trapped underneath there. That's why it's holding water. But if that water evaporates, or I should say when it does, we'll probably get some sink through there too. The main stack is right there. Just come down the steps. It does not have a clean out on it. There is a stack in the rear coming off the downspout by the kitchen. It has a clean out on it, but it will not come out without a chisel and a hammer. And so we're not going to, since we have other access, we don't want to risk any damage to that pipe. So I did try to get it out with an impact, but it would not come out. So but this should be clay. House is over 100 years old, so we should have a clay pipe all the way out. Oh, you can see a cave cricket in there. This is the debris I was talking about. So this section of the line is not being used. It's just, so that's why all this debris is sitting in here. It's probably why it's not doesn't stink real bad in here too. But now we have dropped into the main line. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to push all the way out. We'll take a look at all the clay on the way out. And then I'm going to run some fixtures in the bathroom, in the kitchen, so we can test as much of this line as possible, at least for functionality, since we can't inspect from the rear of the home. You see there's a connection right there to the left. It's most likely that floor drain here, just to the side of me. And clay is a good material. It's been around for a very long time. We're using it in sewer lines for over 100 years, and a lot of other things before that. It's vitrified clay. So you can see just a little bit of like mineral deposits and stuff like that on the side. Nothing getting in at the joints. Could be some old packing. Nothing. Any structural issue. Now, this is something that I was hoping not to run into, but it looks like there is a hole. You see the line coming from above. This is a whole house trap. And so, most likely we won't be able to get through this because this thing is basically, it's a trap like what's on any modern fixture. It's a big S in the ground, or well, a big U under the ground. There should be access out front, and so I'm going to pause the video, get a locate, and see if we can find any exterior access. But due to the nature of that fixture, we probably won't be able to get the camera past it from here. And so again, I'm going to pause the video, we're going to get a locate and see if there's any exterior access to the line. All right, did find the clean out, dug it up. It's about a foot deep, maybe 6-8 inches deep. And so we're going to watch a little bit of the water flow through here for a minute, and then pull back, make sure everything's coming through, and that this isn't, filling up too much. It should fill up a little bit to where it hits that certain point, and then it should push everything through. And then what we'll do is I'll have to pause the video. We'll go outside, get access to it. Hopefully the See my battery. I hope I don't have to do 2 separate videos here. But we just want to watch and make sure that as the water goes out, that it's going through at the same rate it's going in. As you can see, that's what you're looking for. You can tell that it's water's going through. It's not raising up, which means it's pushing through the other side. And so we're going to pull back, and you'll know that the interior line is in good condition. Everything coming from that back clean out. Everything up to that point, about 35 feet or so. You can see the water escaping through there. That's what we're looking for. And that's all coming in. Like I said, that's the one in the rear for the bathroom. I mean, for the the kitchen and the laundry. Water's escaping really well. Back out into that little offshoot here where we're going to pull out of the line. Alright, so let's see again. So I'm going to have to pause the video here. Hopefully we have enough battery life to get this thing finished up. But I'm going to have to go out there, get the line, and get the clean out uncovered and carry this stuff upstairs and out to the front yard. So there may be an interior and exterior video done if the battery does go dead. But in which case we'll go ahead and say that the interior line is in good structural condition. It's open and flowing at time of inspection. So from here, we will go outside and we'll do the exterior side from that whole house clean out to the tap on the main in the street. All right, we're back out. We're outside now. Hopefully we have enough battery life to get through this, but you'll see there is the here's the clean out, and hopefully the camera will be able to go right through. It should be a 4-inch clean out, and there we go. All right, and so periodically you could have this cleaned out, so it's good that you have access to it. Because you just want to make sure that water is making through. Now, I didn't feel any restriction when I went through it, so I don't think that there's any major debris down in there, but it is something that you can never really tell, obviously, because even with the camera, when you run through it, obviously you can't see what's in front of you because it's holding water. And so, the fact that it's holding water doesn't give you, you can't really tell if there's any debris in the bottom of that, but it didn't feel like there was any restriction at all. And so that's good news. I mean, other than the natural natural resistance you have from going through a big U shape in the middle of the pipe. And so far, I mean, this clay is looking really, really good. The fact that there is a storm tied into this is, I think we're at the main now. So it's making this weird bend at the end, which I don't think I'm going to be able to. You can see the bend, and then it opens up into the main. So we're at the main. If I pull back, you'll be able to see it's just turning right, and then right after that turn is an opening into the main. They do this so that it comes in at an angle on the sewer main to promote flow, and so the water doesn't obstruct the flow or anything, but it's preventing, because of the angle of my camera, is preventing us from getting to the main. But the good news is that there is no no issues. The line is in good structural condition. And so I wish I could kind of show you, because I know that that's what this is. We're out 60 feet from this clean out, which puts us across the street at the main. So I'm going to go double check it and just get a locate real quick to make sure that we're at the main, just as verification, since I can't get my camera, because you see that little bit of a lip in the edge of the turn there. It's just my camera's pushing right into it, so it won't make that final turn into the main. So, yep, I'm going to pause the video real quick. I'm going to double check, make sure that's where we are, and then we'll finish up the inspection. All right, so we are at the main. Very good. So, we've seen everything, and the line is in great shape, especially for its age. You have the line structurally, I didn't see any issues at all, which is wonderful. We were able to expose the clean out in the front yard for the whole house trap, which is more good news. And the line is open and flowing. The only restriction we had really that we're unable to inspect is from that back line up to where we went in. So there's probably 20 feet of pipe there that we couldn't inspect. We did run the water through it, but we couldn't get access to it. There's no clean out in the new stacks, and the old stack I was unable to get access to because of the old cast iron and brass cap. I didn't want to take, since I was able to get access up front, and the house is obviously still under previous ownership. We don't want to risk any. It's a liability risk for me to try to chisel out that clean out and possibly damage the pipe. And so here we are back to the, you can see it raising the camera up, and we're going to be pulling right back down through that trap. You can see, if you look in the bottom left hand corner, you'll see the angle of the camera and how it goes through. You're able to see how it's a big U. But see, we're pulling out, and I am very, very happy. This line is in great shape, and that's the reason why that whole house trap is still in its place, and because it's been functioning for 100 years plus, and it is still in good shape as far as functionality is concerned. And if anything, you could put a riser on this or something like that to bring it up closer to the surface, so you don't have to dig it up or have a big hole in your front yard. So I'm going to put a flag around it. I'm going to leave it uncovered for now, but I am going to put a flag around it so that so people see the hole and don't step in it. But overall, the line is in great shape. I'm very pleased with the condition of this line, especially as old as it is. And so, not really much to say. It does have a whole house clean out that we mentioned, and could use a plug where I went through on the inside. It could use a plug just to kind of stop some of the sewer gases. It's not a major issue as far as it coming out of the main because we have this, but if there's any other material, we'll say, sitting in the line that doesn't make it all the way through, you can still get some of the smell from that. It's not as big as the whole main coming in, but it is still something. It would be better to to keep stuff from falling in, to cap that line there in the basement floor, and maybe even put a clean out in the main stack coming down in the corner. But either way, we did uncover this clean out. The line's in great shape, and so that's gonna end the inspection at 1545 Holman Street in Covington, Kentucky.